a mission to deliver the first assignment, former Royal Artillery Staff Sergeant Billy Baxter, alongside charity director Nicky Shaw. They're here to recruit the musical instrument expertise of Pete Woods.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the barn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you both. What's this?
So this is a bugle.
A bugle?
Yeah, it belonged to my great-grandfather. He passed it on to my grandfather, who used it when he was in the Scouts.
Right.
We believe it's dated to about 1885-ish.
1885?
Approximately.
So how comes it's made its way into the barn today?
A few years ago now, I joined a charity called Blind Veterans UK, and where I met Billy, who works at our rehabilitation centre in Llandudno, and discovered how musical instruments are used as part of a rehabilitation process for blind veterans. And so I gifted the bugle to Billy, who's now custodian of it.
Right, so Billy, are you a bugle player then?
Absolutely not. I'm a self-taught bugler. I play 5 notes badly, but I can knock out some different calls, and I use this instrument to call our blind veterans to different functions. It pierces all of the noise within the building, so they know something's going on. It stimulates a lot of memories from their military days. There's a call, more or less, in the military for everything with a bugle.
Right, so how long did you serve in the army for?
For 20 years. Unfortunately, while serving in the Balkans in the late 90s, I contracted a very rare virus that rendered me totally blind. So, you know, losing your sight sort of extracts you from the world around you. We take everything for granted by looking at things, and when you can't see that, the world becomes a very, very scary place.
So what was life like for you when you came back home?
Married, 3 young children. My wife's holding down a full-time job. My children didn't realise why Dad wasn't working properly. I did everything with the kids as dads do. Very active lifestyle. So this suddenly stopped. But thank God, I was then gratefully picked up by Blind Veterans UK, and the charity saved my life.
When you see Billy in action, he brings magic into the centre and to other blind veterans through the way in which he uses his charm and his personality, but also music to help with people's rehabilitation.
It's amazing what strength you get from the staff and the other blind veterans, that we all support each other. For me, I never thought that I'd be playing a bugle. No idea at all. I just thought, you know, they gave me the confidence to have a go at things, and I thought, do you know what? I'll have a go at playing a bugle.
So, what's really wrong with the bugle that you'd like me to fix?
I can feel every burr, every blemish, everything on the instrument.
And I'm sure that you could feel the dents. I mean, I can see there's a lot of dents here.
I think it was used as an anchor in its former life. I'm not too sure.
You want it fit for a parade, sir?
Yes, sir. It was something that would look the part when it comes to remembrance service or a celebration or a dinner. It's something we could proudly show.
I think for me, if my granddad and my great-grandfather knew that that was how it was being used today, I think they would be delighted, actually.
We'll let you know when it's all ready to be picked up, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much.
That's all right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Billy's bugle is exactly what I'd expect to see for the age of it. The problem is all the dents, and of course, Billy not being able to see now, he's going to feel every little dent. To get the dents out, because of the way a bugle's made, the only way to do it is to get the whole thing apart. The parts of a bugle are soft soldered together. It doesn't take much to get it. A little bit of heat softens the solder. Off it comes. Good news. Off to the acid bath.
Next, a tiny assignment with a big history. Niama Freibach and her daughter Shia have brought a very precious keepsake to the barn.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. Fine.
Let's see. Got a pair of shoes. Dean, do you mind joining us?
Not at all.
16 years of experience has taught cobbler Dean Westmoreland how to handle treasured footwear, both big and small.
So, whose shoes are these?
Mine.
They're yours. When did you get these?
Almost 1 year old when I started walking. It was almost 80 years ago.
So you're over,
Over
80?
80.
Nah. Okay. So, where were they bought?
I was born in Tel Aviv. At that time, 42, when I was born, it was called Palestine.
Was your parents born in Tel Aviv?
No, they were both from Poland. They came before the World War II
Right.
because they were Jewish and wanted a better future.
Yeah.
And they came separately. They met in Tel Aviv.
Wow.
They married in Tel Aviv, and I was born in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
So all the rest of the family stayed in Poland and unfortunately died in the Holocaust.
Wow.
Not only my grandparents, but many uncles and aunts. The brother and sister of my parents also went in the Holocaust. So me and my parents, we were the family, the only family.
Yeah. Last survivors of the family, that's...
Actually, it's the only tangible object I have for my parents.
This is it?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's very dear to me.
Very dear. And you're trusting us with them as well?
Yes, of
So
course.
thank you. Why are the toes worn out in that way?
Those times the situation was not so good.
When you say not so good, what was it like?
Tough life. My father didn't earn much, and they wanted me to use them as long as I can. So when they cut here, my toes go out. A few months more, use the shoes.
Hold on.
That's why you've cut that.
So your parents will cut this so your toes could come out?
To last longer.
Last longer.
To last longer.
Well, it's very resourceful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, after my parents died, it became even more precious to me.
Yeah.
So I decided I keep them on and give them to my children, and they will give them to my grandchildren. It will be some kind of a memory.
Yeah.
That's why I want them to be in a better condition, to last longer.
What would you like to happen to these? What do you want Dean to do?
We had a vision, how about quite close to what they looked like the last day she wore them, in a way,
Right,
you know.
okay. So the hole on the toes, are you wanting keeping?
Of
You
course.
don't want that covering up?
No, that's the point.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for trusting us.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
You take care now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. I've never seen that before. Well, the toes are cut.
I know. Some hard times have gone through, haven't they?
Wow. Well, you know what we've got to do?
Cheers, Jay.
I know you've got this.
Cheers, mate. As a repairer, it's in my nature to kind of strip off the old repairs and replace with new. But it's really important to Niama and Shia that I preserve all the history here. So in the spirit of conservation and preservation, I ain't going to go too far with these. I'm going to recolour this upper leather to the original sort of off-white khaki colour. I'm going to repair any little tears like there are at the toes, just glue all that back together. I'm going to scrape, clean and wax the soles to preserve them, and hopefully these can last for many more years. I think initially what I need to do is give that upper a good clean, make it a bit softer, and then I'll know what I'm working with. So this is a leather cleaner that I use almost daily. It will strip any old muck, and it will also prepare the pores of the leather, so it will kind of open them up. It is working at a level that we can't really see and preparing the leather for the next stage of dyeing and colouring. And as with any craft, preparation is key.
This weather is so fantastic, isn't it?
I know, it's so
Feels
nice.
lovely, yeah.
My paint will dry nicely in this, won't it?
Yeah, and my varnish will dry nicely in this as well.
Making the most of the balmy conditions by fixing al fresco, brassmaster Pete.
We've acid cleaned it, which means we've got all the muck off. The worst thing about it is that the bell has been dented inwards. Somebody has just put it down heavy. It pushes it all up, and then, of course, we get a nasty gap there because we've got a taper. So the first thing we've got to do is get this back. I'm just hitting it down. It's been supported by all that in there to hold the shape. You can notice how far it has come down just by the marks on the bugle. That appears to work well. So I'm quite happy now. So now I'm going to start on the dents on the main body of the bugle. We've got some nasty dents round underneath what was the cap. We've got these things called plugs. They're round. They fit inside the bugle. They actually push the dent out from inside. So I'm just going to push a couple of wooden ones through. And then we use a thing called a driver. It does exactly what it says. It drives the piece of wood round the tube. So we put it in there, and that is equal to our hammer going round inside. As I'm hammering it, trying to force it down to push out any dents that I've got from inside. It's rather like you would with a dolly and a piece of steel and a hammer on a car body. Exactly the same thing, only your dolly is in the middle. At the end of the day, you end up with this nice, smooth bugle again, and that's the idea of the operation, to do it up. I can feel the piece of wood is just there. That is jammed in there, which is pushing up, so I can then just gently tap and get all the dents out. And then we just put a driver in the other end to get it out. It's quite simple. There's nothing worse than getting the dent ball jammed in there. It's everybody's worst nightmare. It's a laborious job. It's quite a few hours on just a bugle, but we've got to get every little ding out because Billy is going to feel them. He's got to be tactile. The bugles have most of the dents taken out now. Now I'm just going to wire it all together so I can solder it. It's always a bit of a relief when you get to this point. It doesn't matter how many times you've done it, you still... Now we've just got to get it soldered up. Using an old drumstick because the whole thing is going to get quite warm.
There you go.
Next, a tall order for horologist Steve Fletcher.
God blimey.
That's incredible, isn't it?
That is incredible. All matchsticks. Wow.
Charlotte Fisher from Bedfordshire grew up in the shadow of this little landmark.
There she is. Hello, Charlotte. How you doing?
Hiya, I'm good.
You all
How are
right?
you? Good.
Hello.
Hi.
Please tell me, is this seriously made of all matchsticks?
Yeah, so the matchsticks are built around wood and then carved into shape.
How many matches did this take?
It's 5,520 matchsticks.
Oh, you know exactly?
Yeah, it does say on the back, so
okay.
it's a bit easy to remember.
Oh, I thought you counted them.
I think that would take me too long.
So whose is this?
It's my great-grandfather's.
What's his name?
Edwin Alders. So he just kind of made it as a hobby, I think, to begin with, and then made quite a few different ones. This one was for the Queen's coronation.
I can see there's a place where a clock could have gone.
Yeah, so got all the little bits and pieces and the pendulum.
Oh, brilliant.
And the key. When it didn't turn, we knew it was broken then, so then we decided to take it out.
And what else is in there?
So I've got a few boxes of the things that have fallen off, because there's a few things that
Matches.
have come off over the time.
So he made this for the Queen's coronation. Did it go on display anywhere? Or what?
Yes, in an exhibition in London. They have pictures of him and articles and things like that.
And is this what he did for a living, just making models like this?
Yeah, he did quite a few things. He was also a painter as well, so he was quite a famous painter. He was featured in, like, TV and shorts before cinemas and things like that. But he was quite famous for this, and then it ended up being in my nan's house.
So your nan must have been, like, super proud of this, because this is what her dad made, is it?
Yeah, she wasn't a necessarily sentimental kind of woman, but this was, like, the thing she kept. She loved it so much. She was most proud of her dad in that sense. My nan definitely used it as a normal working clock. There's, like, pride of place right next to the teeny tiny small TV. She had to, like, wind it up, which I think was her favourite thing to do. I'd go around there all the time, and she'd sometimes allow me to wind it up if I was well behaved.
So you grew up with this clock? Mm-hmm. So I'm just thinking, when you were a little toddler, this must have seemed quite a big clock.
It was ginormous. I just remember it ticking and the pendulum going, but I can't quite place the chime of it. So that would be a nice surprise to hear that again.
And how come you've got this now?
3 years ago, just before my nan passed away, she told me that she wanted me to be the caretaker of it for perpetuity. That was quite nice.
So how did that feel when she gave it to you?
It was a huge pressure, but a really lovely thing, because I'm so close to my nan. Well, I was so close to my nan.
You got on well with her, yeah?
Yeah, she was my favourite person.
To look after a clock like this needs a lot of work.
Yeah, it was kind of quite daunting, because it's a big thing for her to give this to me. But I've taken as much care of it as I can, and kind of picked up all the little pieces, and as you can see, like, some details really started to come off, like at the bottom, and when, like, bigger chunks were starting to come off, I was like, oh no, I'm feeling the pressure.
So what would it mean to you if I can get it ticking again?
It'd be amazing. I think it would really bring back nice memories, especially since, like, my nan's passed, and really, like, this is obviously the biggest thing I have of hers, and it is just sentimentally the biggest thing. And just to have that working again, I think it would just bring me back to being in her house.
I think we could do that. Let's do that?
Hopefully.
OK. Charlotte, thank you for bringing this in. All right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be good fun trying to get this working.
You take care now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, you're going to get that going. I'm going to have a word with Will, see if he can deal with all this wood for us.
Brilliant.
OK?
I don't think this clock has been apart for decades, probably when Edwin first built it back in the 50s. I can't see what's wrong with it until I take it all apart. The first thing I have to do is let down the power. Right, I'm just going to get my letting down key. There's a huge amount of power in one of these mainsprings. When you wind up a clock, you're then storing a lot of energy. Quite often when an amateur takes a clock apart, the one thing they fail to do is take the power off. And if they undo the plates, everything goes whiz-bang. It strips teeth and causes so much damage. They can actually destroy a clock mechanism by doing that. So I have to make sure that I get all the power off. Now I've let down the power, I'm going to take the clock apart. I'm going to give it a really good clean, and then I'll be able to see what there is that I've got to repair.
While Steve grapples with his monumental fix, cobbler Dean is working in miniature.
I'm really very happy with how this has come out. For an 80-year-old pair of shoes to feel so soft still, it's amazing, really. So now I'm going to try and recolour where the leather is flaked away. Quite difficult, this, because it isn't just one block colour, and I don't really want to lose all that character and history. So my idea is to go around and touch up where it has cracked with acrylic paints, and it'll fill the gaps and then strip it off. But it won't strip out the leather, and it'll keep a lot of the acrylic in the gaps that I wanted to fill and still keep that lovely leather feel. I know it looks a little bit patchy now, but the base colour is there, and I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is strip it off. So to strip it, I'm using the original cleaner that I used to clean the leather, and what that's doing is nicely taking off the excess paint from the original. And you may only see a patch here, but you can kind of see the effect. You see how much is coming off there, and that original colour is coming back through, but the paint has stayed in where I wanted it to. So when I first saw these, I thought perhaps they'd want the toe remaking, like a new toe almost. But after listening to Niama's story, I think it's so important to keep that, because that is what our parents had to do. They were the hardships that they endured. But what I would like to do where that lining has come away is get a little bit of glue in there and just bond those two together, and that'll just give it some strength and some structure. So I'm just going to feed with my awl a little bit of my trusty neoprene glue. Really, really strong glue. It's always quite a novel thing getting children's shoes. Everything's so tiny, so refined, so dainty. It can be quite difficult to work on. God knows I've spent so many hours on my own children's shoes who completely wreck them. But I'm in a very fortunate position in that I can either repair, or even in today's world, we can just go buy a new pair. You think of the hardships back then, and Niama's little toes poking through the end there. It really puts things in perspective, I think, for our own lives. We've got some lovely shape at the front there. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then my final job is to have a look at the soles and try and preserve them.
Almost ready for inspection, the once battered 19th century bugle.
We put this compound on there. It's a wax with like very, very fine grit in there. It's just taking the very top surface off. I know it sounds funny, but you can actually feel the shine, because it will be a lot smoother. When Billy feels it, it'll be nice and smooth. And that is important for him. He'll feel that all those dents are gone.
This bugle heralds the events of daily life for Billy and his comrades in the Blind Veterans Centre. Along with Nicky, who gifted Billy her family heirloom, they're hoping the instrument now befits its prestigious purpose.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome back.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Hello there. I'm Dom. It's nice to meet you both.
Hi, Dom.
Lovely to meet you.
We're very excited.
Yeah.
All the members and staff, volunteers from Blind Veterans are they're just made up because it means so much to so many people.
Yeah.
I've brought me white gloves.
What are the white gloves for?
So they're part of a ceremonial dress when you're handling anything that's been polished. It stops the sweat from your fingers and your hands burnishing the metal.
OK. You ready?
No.
Nicky, ready?
Yes, yes.
Go on, Pete.
It's incredible, Billy. It is absolutely incredible. It's really shiny.
Really?
Yes. It's a copper colour now. It's not brown anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a really clear distinction between the brass and the copper.
Wow.
Around the mouthpiece and the bell. And it's got the most stunning chord. Blue, red and yellow.
Brilliant.
And it is mounted. It's presented just beautifully. It really is.
Oh, I can't wait to touch it.
Go on, then.
Oh, my goodness. Right. Crikey. Crikey. My goodness me. There's no dents in her. There is no dents in this bugle. It feels more magical.
Yeah.
Wow. Pete, you are a wizard.
It's absolutely stunning.
It certainly suits you.
That's it.
That's where it's meant to be.
It's perfect length. Is a family favourite.
Go on.
It's one the members love because it means that they're going to be filling the bellies. Cookhouse call.
Dinner time, quick, let's go.
Grabs up! Oh, gents, I just want to cuddle you. Oh. This is absolutely amazing.
You're happy then?
I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. Oh.
It's incredible. I think if my grandfathers were to see this bugle now, I think they'd be amazed. You know, that they wouldn't have possibly been able to imagine that this would be part of its journey. And just personally, I'm so pleased it's got a purpose now.
You really deserve it. So.
Thank you. Thank you
really,
so much,
I really mean
Pete.
that. Brilliant.
And thank you, Pete.
Genius.
See you later.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Wow.
While Time Lord Steve tinkers with some inner workings, the outer case of the model monument is no match for Will.
I've seen things made out of matchsticks, but nothing as big as this. 5,520 matches. A lot of work has gone into making this. Just with these tiny pieces of wood, little grooves have been etched into the side there. And I think that's to imitate bricks. Some areas are smooth. I believe that's where a lot of this sort of brick detailing should be. So I'm hoping a lot of these kind of larger pieces here might give me more of an indication of where they should go. Actually, I think that does actually go around about there. Once I've got all these loose pieces glued back onto the surface, I can give the entire clock a clean, then I can work out all those bits that are missing and recreate them.
I am envious of Will doing the match work on the case because I used to make things out of matchsticks when I was a kid. I'm sure it's going to look amazing. After giving the clock its first clean, I've gone through everything, checked every single tooth, but I've found on the back plate here there are 3 worn holes that I've got to repair. You see this pivot is just wobbling around in there. and it shouldn't at all, because if it is worn like that, the wheels actually start rubbing on each other, so you then get the wear on the teeth of the clock, which then causes a lot of problems. And what I've got to do is I've got to put new plugs of brass in with holes in, and they're called bushes. So I'm just gently filing this back. So it's almost like making the hole worse before I make it better. It's now, instead of an oval hole, it's a round hole. What I need to do now is to go through the bushes and decide which is going to be the best. I think it's going to be that one there. Good, I need to now open up the hole to the right size so this will actually push in. I've opened up the hole big enough now, and that bush will just push into there. There we go. Now it should just push nice and tightly into there, and now it's done. I just need to do the other two now, and then I can give it its final clean and get everything back together again.
I have a great respect for Charlotte's great-grandfather. The spacing between these sort of fake bricks need to be spot on, because if they're different from everything else, it's going to stand out. It must have taken them absolutely ages. I just need to do the other sides now and the top, and once it's all dried, I can then colour match the new pieces to match them with the old, and then get it over to Steve.
Thousands of pairs of shoes have passed through the talented hands of cobbler Dean, but he's been tested by these little lace-ups.
So now I'm happy with the uppers, I can move on to the sole. So it's really just a case of sanding it until it's nice and smooth and reasonably clean, and then I can wax it. Even with a mere few strokes of sandpaper, it's cleaning up already. The lovely details from that old repair, those little wooden pegs there, the heads of the pins kind of shining through. And it's really nice to see all those details. The wax is going on really nice, and it's soaking up so quickly. This leather's so dry, it's never had any moisture. It's been quite humbling working on these shoes. And it's been an honour to be involved in it and preserve these for Niamh and Shea.
These shoes have survived for over 80 years, but bear the marks of persecution and difficult new beginnings. For Niamh and her daughter Shea, they represent their family story and the fight for survival in a post-war world.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you all right?
Hi, Tim.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
And you?
How you both feeling?
Wonderful.
Yeah?
I know I'll be happier when I see them.
See, I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm nervous and excited, yeah.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Do the honours?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow. I thought I wouldn't cry, but I'm going to cry. There's a Yofi.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. There's the Yofi.
Beautiful, Dean. Really beautiful.
Fills my heart with happiness, I must say. I wish my parents could see them.
Yeah.
My mother, I can imagine how happy and proud she was when she put those shoes on me. She came from a very tiny village in Poland.
Yeah.
And I have a photo of her about age of 6 or 7 standing with classmates, and she was barefoot. And I'm sure she was so happy she could afford to give me my first shoes when I was 1 year old. So you have made an old lady very happy.
Good.
Bless you.
This is, for me, really love personified, love of my grandparents to their child, love and resilience and coming together, all in this tiny thing. It's quite something.
But we know you brought them in a little box and you're going to have
Yes.
them on display, so
Oh, wow.
I thought we'd make you one.
Wow. A much nicer box. Fantastic.
Display them properly then.
Now it's a museum's item.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier.
It's been an honour to work on them. So
Thank
I
you.
hope you can enjoy them.
Thank you
and
so much.
generations after you can enjoy them too.
I'm really touched.
Thank you.
You want to take the shoes, Mum?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gladly. It's like a treasure to me, really. Maybe it sounds funny, but it's a real treasure.
No, not
It's
at
not
all.
funny, no.
We understand.
Well, you take care now.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's finally game, set and match on the model clock repair.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's heavy.
That does look amazing. You've done such a great job. How many matchsticks did you use?
Between 400 to 500.
Wow.
So how's the mechanism?
I had to give it a complete overhaul. It was quite worn in places.
Well, it looks striking. Let's hope that it sounds striking
Ah,
too.
very good. Thank you.
Well done, Steve.
Will really has made a great job of this. So much patience. The mechanism's all ready now. I'm just going to pop it in. I love this stage of getting a clock together. I just need to get the hands on there. This is going to make it look fantastic. I'm very happy with that. I'm just going to pop the pendulum on now. The tick is everything. The sounds are everything. I now need to just do a few more adjustments and then I can pop the top on and then it'll be ready to hand back to Charlotte. Can't wait.
Taking over a year to complete and crafted from over 5,000 matchsticks, this replica was built by a talented model enthusiast and artist to celebrate the late Queen's coronation.
Okay, and then just twist it round.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
Okay.
For Charlotte, the clock is a reminder of time spent with her beloved Nan.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Welcome back to the barn.
Thank you, thank you.
Are you quite excited?
Yeah, really excited. I'm very looking forward to hearing the sound of it and the actual clock and all that stuff. But everything, really. Seeing what it looks like.
So has there been like an empty space there since it's been here?
Yeah, there's actually like a little like square of what it was.
The space is there, you
Yes.
just need the clock.
We've got it all designed out.
Well, I think we've held you in suspense for too long now. I think we're going to have a look.
Yes, please.
You ready?
Definitely. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It even has hands as well. Oh my gosh. Thank you. It's beautiful.
Just going to take the hands around.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of like a flashback back to my nan's flat in Dunstable when I'd be sitting there with my little bowl of custard and bananas. It's like I've got just a large piece of my nan back, because I just have so many memories to do with her and this clock. And it's just nice having this back. I think she'd probably want to give you guys big hugs. She'd be so grateful.
Thanks for coming down and seeing us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all your time doing it as well.
You're very welcome. It's been a real pleasure, hasn't it?
Definitely. Well, obviously, this is a very big item.
Yes.
And quite fragile in places, so Steve and I are going to wrap it up and send it over to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Well done.
Well done, you.